I was sure that didn't count, but it did. Hmm. There you go. Oh yeah. 70 bucks. 70 bucks. Okay, so we're 11 bucks short of a shovel or a heart piece. There you go. Yes. Yes. So now, get ourselves a shovel. Nice. Enjoy digging. Yep. But there should be a couple of items here in town, shouldn't there? If I remember right. Is there not anything here in town to dig up? I could have sworn there was. Huh. Guess not. In the library, yeah, I know there's a library in town that can give me good information. You fuckhead. Oh yeah, I can dig in Chow Chow's room. That's right. Can't I? Yes, I can. Got a shell. What do you do with it? Oh, don't worry about that. There. Okay. Okay. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, let's read a couple of these books. Selecting the item that's right for you. Subscreen, blah blah blah. Yep, I already know that one. Maps and Memories guidebook. Why not? Play the technique is be a bit of it. Oh, yeah, the spin attack. Handle your shield like a pro. What's this? You can't read anything except without. Yeah, that's right. The map. All right. These war points, some more points to and fro. One with bombs. But I don't have bombs yet, so that sucks. Oh well. Oh, thought there would be something there. Damn. Oh, but now I can dig up coconuts. That's right. Motherfucker. Listen here, Octorok. But I think we'll go to Tail Cave. Why the hell not? Through Hyrule story recently, Majora's Mask section, it states that Termina disappeared once Link left, and its purpose to the hero was done, as was his purpose for being there. Yup. Think of it this way, Master Sword. You know how, Colent was a dream? But we come to find out the actual thing of Colent was a dream, yeah, but it was a dream that made a physical manifestation in the real world. Same thing happened with Phantom Hourglass. And you could say that, yeah, something similar happens with Majora's Mask. From what I could tell, Colent doesn't get started to disappear after his dream, so it's still out there on the high seat. Yeah. Well, I mean, it does, based on the ending of the game, but that is 3 instances in the adult timeline, downfall timeline, and child timeline, where you have, like, literally how do I say this? Phantom Hourglass happens roughly 100 to 200 years after Ocarina. And so does Link's Awakening, because Link's Awakening, the hero in this game, is the same one from past and the Oracle games. But yeah, this is roughly about the same time as Phantom Hourglass. Majora's Mask would still be like, you know, 85 to 95 years before this. So it wouldn't match up within the same time frame as like Phantom Hourglass or Link's Awakening. But it does fall into that thing of where the dream world bleeds into reality, where that fine veil of the void, the gap between dimensions, has been broken. And that's happened more than one occasion in the Zelda universe. That's why I say that because of what we know now about Ganondorf, Dragmire, for instance, we know that he's far older than even Vati, and I thought Vati was older, and that's not the case. So we sit here at this tragic moment of realizing that every single form of Ganondorf and his alter ego Ganon, from the Downfall timeline to Wind Waker to even Twilight Princess and Four Sword Adventures, everything was just a phantom. And if in Tears of the Kingdom we can see the phantoms making more phantoms in front of our eyes, what's stopping him from making even more phantoms through time, you know? Gonna hop off for now, though. Got a few things to work on. No worries, Mirage. Well, distinction makes me sad that Terminus should technically be non-existent, but it's cool to think Link, maybe the player could actually get Colent again. Well, Kapusi. Sorry about that. That was a gnarly rip out of the bowl. The thing is, though, Termina is a special case. This isn't like how where the Windfish was asleep and dreamed up Colent, because that's the thing. Colent was literally a dream that manifested in the real world because of a being like the Windfish. We could say the same exact thing in Phantom Hourglass, where the neighboring sea it exists. That's real. But the whole thing with Oshus and the whole events of Phantom Hourglass, as we can tell by the end of that game, that Gonzo and the rest of the pirate crew says, oh yeah, you guys were asleep for 5 minutes. But to us, it was an entire journey, right? The only logical thing I can come up with is... Gonna work?
No, Mom and I will be back.
Okay.
We gotta go get water bottles and go to the store.
Alright, let me be safe. I guess what I'm getting at is, if Oshus, the, Ocean King, is real, just like how the Windfish is real in, you know, and the whole thing with, you know, the Ocean King's Island, the prison to keep Bellum, if all of that was a dream that manifested, just like here in Link's Awakening, then sure, we could say something about the same with Termina, but the fact of the matter is, if it truly would disappear, its effects on the timelines have not, otherwise we wouldn't have references. Right, and that's what I'm getting to, Lotums. Majora is a special case, because if Majora's Mask didn't happen, the Hero of Time would not have the skills that he had to pass down to his grandson, the Hero of Twilight. I think the other thing to get at is, Termina is real, but not in the sense that we know of. It's real as in it's a real place, but it reflects Hyrule, almost like Termina is made from Hyrule. Like it's a place within Hyrule, not too different from the Twilight Realm. Because as we know, the Twilight Realm is the other half of Hyrule. Hyrule makes up the light, and the Twilight Realm makes up the twilight. They're two sides of one coin. Termina would also fit in a similar case. However, Termina would kinda be similar to the properties of Coalant and the Ocean King's domain. But what's really scary is there's artifacts and there's hints and tells that Termina was founded in the ancient past by the same people who made the Fused Shadow, aka the Interlopers. The people who made Majora's Mask and presumably found Stone Tower Temple and this is speculation based on clues and hints that we have in the game and the lore. It's believed that these people called the Ancients were the ones who made the mask. And the mask was used for hexing rituals to appease a god. I think Don Motion Monster Maze or Zeltic or what was it, Nintendo Black Crisis, one of them put it perfectly, and it's like, if it's a god and it's a neutral god, then that means it's not inherently good or evil. It just ultimately depends on how you treat said god, like a kami or something like that. If you neglect the god, it will lash out, but if you treat the god, then it'll just, you know, mellow. And if these hexing rituals were used with the mask and Majora was associated, How much you want to bet that Majora the Dark God was the subject for said rituals? At first, there'd be hexing and sacrifices in a ritualistic way for Majora the God. But if people eventually grew fearful of its power, they more than likely would have sealed this dark god away. And if that's the case, it's not too different from the interlopers. Eagle's statues trying to. Oh, yeah. Terminal, as the dev said, yeah, like a terminal at a goddamn what do you call it? Airport. Which I guess, yeah, you could say Lord of the Master Sword. It's, I guess, a halfway point between Hyrule / the Light World. And all of the other, because there's the Light World / Light Realm, which constructs of Hyrule, the Twilight Realm, Termina, the Great Sea, which is also Hyrule once it's flooded. Basically anything that isn't the Minish World or Lowrule or Heaven or Hell, that would classify under the planet. Midgar. Earth. So, kingdom, country, and the corresponding kingdoms, countries, and etc. Termina, I guess, would be one of those intermediate worlds or existences between that. So, like, you know how there's the Light World, aka Hyrule, and there's the Twilight Realm? What if there's a stopping point in the middle of that? I know we haven't seen one, and there probably isn't, but if there was, that would be not too different from what you're telling me, eh? Because it sounds similar. Haha. Oh, I forgot all about these. God damn it. Blue. There you go. Hey, you got a beak. Don't beak. I tell you, kids these days, no respect. Turn aside the spine ones with a shield. Okay. So interesting. One main distinction between the sealing of Majora versus just about every other game I can think of, Majora gets sealed within an object that the god itself seemed to either own or be represented by. Majora was sealed within a physical object. Ganon / Ganondorf gets sealed in the Sacred Realm. Termina's sealing rituals seem closer like Master Roshi's evil containment wave. Yeah, very similar to the tales of the Interlopers. A tribe of beings that excelled in great magic and used that great dark magic for their own wants and needs. What wants and needs are these? To conquer the Sacred Realm and take the divine power of the gods. Which is pretty funny because in Twilight Princess they never ever utter the name Triforce, but you can see Triforce imagery. And that's the other thing I want to bring up. When it comes to the interlopers, yeah, they could be the Zonai. They very well could be. But when it comes to the interlopers, it says a tribe or collection of magic wielders that wielded a great dark magic or so. So it never said it was one race. It could be multiple races in one tribe. It could be a tribe of a collection of Hylian, Sheikah, Gerudo, and Zonai. But we don't know. And that's the sad part. There you go. Do. I got no bombs still. That's kind of dumb. But got Rock's Feather. Hell yes, brother. Brother. Do. Oh, those plants. Oh my god, is that a Zonai swirl? No! Oh my god. Hold on. One moment. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Take a quick BRB. Sorry about this. Be back in just a bit. Oof. Kinda had to answer an important call. Very important, nothing bad, nothing serious, just hang on to it. Think of it like this: to the inhabitants of Colin Island, if they became aware of Hyrule and its citizens, they could call them collectively the Hylian tribe. Even though that tribe consists of humans, Goron, Zora, Gerudo, Koroks, Rito, etc. Exactly, Lotums. And if we can tell by the Hyrulean Civil War, the war that happened and sprouted out before Ocarina of Time and bled into Ocarina of Time's beginning. Do we remember that a few of the conflicts that sparked that was Zora versus Goron? A war that was fabled to exist between the Zoras and Gorons, between the precious drinking water for the entire land of Hyrule via the Zoras, and the Gorons that had the precious mining materials for weapons and etc. The Gorons were obviously sided with the humans/Hylians, while the Zoras didn't want to. A lot of convincing had to be done, but the Gorons beat the hell out of the Zoras, and they basically said, hey, listen, we're proud mountain rock people, and we don't like talking to fleshy Hylians, but we decided to join their kingdom so they would leave us the fuck alone. Take it from us, and you just fought a war against us, and they fueled our side. Trust us. If you follow their king, they will leave you the fuck alone. Oh, okay. And that's what happened, essentially, but I mean, that's just looking at the face level of a one de facto ruler of Hyrule. This would be before the kingdom even exists, though. That this interloper tribe would exist. And it gets so much deep. It just gets so much deeper than that. I just find it funny, though, whenever people over time have said, oh yeah, the Zelda series isn't as deep as, like, Fallout or Elder Scrolls or anything like that. I'm like, are you joking? Like, are you actually serious, or are you joking? Because I know you're playing a joke right now. Ain't no way you're serious. E. Oh. Oh yeah, I could have gone across that instead. No bombs yet. God damn it, the cheeseburger caterpillars. God damn it. Hate those dudes. Hey. Human tribe consists of tons of races: goblins, moblins, Lizalfos, Reddits, Gibdos, etc. So I can see the interloper tribe being made up of Zonai, Hylians. Well, Twilight would not exist yet. You gotta remember this, LotMS. The Twilight tribe, the Twilight people, are the result of the interlopers being banished to the Twilight Realm. So over a unknown amount of time, they had to learn to adapt to the harsh conditions that make up the Twilight Realm. No true light, no true darkness, perpetual sunset, essentially. Everything corrupted. Everything. That's ultimately heartbreaking. But we could take a guess that, yeah, the Twilight may have been a mix of Zonai, human Hylian, Sheikah, Gerudo, etc. That there's a big thing that I may hint be working on with one or two people that may follow these lines. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Hint, hint, and so on. Literally can't say anything more other than that, though. There you go. I don't want to go that way.